Welcome to episode 3 of Merchant Slipped. In the last episode, our dwarves decided to stay here and make Merchant Slipped a permanent fortress. We've received our first 2 waves of migrants, made bedrooms for all our dwarves, and we started working on offices for Mafal, who is our expedition leader, and Sazir, who is our new assistant to the expedition leader, which basically comes down to being the fortress manager and broker. We join our dwarves in the autumn of the year 100. And as the dwarves are working on the new offices, Moral and Urvat come to see Mafal. They want to talk about their jobs as guards, and they want to start a proper military. They've mentioned it to Mafal before, and since we've decided to make this place a more permanent home, Mafal thinks it's a good idea. What do you guys need? Well, Moral scrubs her head for a second. We need a place to train, basically. I mean, right now we're just a small group, so anything more than that would be a bit too ambitious at this point. But a nice barracks where we can train, preferably near the entrance of the fort in case we do get attacked, would be great. Mafal doesn't have to think very long about it, and he agrees. You never know when some goblin thieves show up on our doorstep. So, you're right, we'll get right on it. We'll dig out some room for a barracks in the first sand layer underground, so our 2 guards can have a place to train and spar. And there we go. The plans are in place. We'll let them get to it. As we were planning out the barracks, work has finished on Sazir's room. All we have to do now is assign the room to her, and she can start working right away. Next, all we have to do is haul the right furniture to Mafal's room. And with the final chair and table being hauled there, he can start counting the stocks as well. Now that we have both a manager and a bookkeeper, we can more easily order our dwarves around. We can just give a list of things we want to have made to Sazir, and she'll make sure that all the right workshops and orders are made to complete the order. This is a lot easier than tracking the workshops down and giving orders to the dwarves individually. Also, because Mafal will start work on counting the stocks, we'll know exactly how much of everything we have. We can see exactly how much food and drinks we have, and in the stock screen we can see every item that's stored in our fortress, which makes it a lot easier to manage the fortress. Now that that's done, we'll have a look at our barracks. The first room has been dug out, so we'll start putting stuff in. We'll lay a stone floor first, so that the dwarves don't have to practice in the sand. We'll also put in an armor stand and a weapon rack, to make it a little bit more like a barracks, you know. For now we can put Moral and Urvad in our military, and we'll have them wear metal armor. We don't really have any of that in stock, but we'll try to craft some soon enough. Then we'll give them a training schedule, where they will train in the barracks every other month. We're not quite at the point yet that we can have a full-time military, so this will have to do for now. Also, over here we've designated some space for a tavern to be dug out. We'll need a place to drink and dance, and a meeting hall isn't quite the place to be doing that. Since the dwarves are done digging it out, we'll put in some chairs and tables and statues to make it look nice. We'll call the tavern the Bulbous Berries. Prickleberries are famous in Dwarven society, for they can be brewed into sunshine, the most precious and valuable alcohol there is. We hope to obtain some berries someday, to serve in our newest tavern. After that, we'll dig out another room, this time for a temple. Mafal is a religious dwarf and worships Zephon. Having a temple will fulfill his religious needs. Besides, Zephon has free worshippers here in the fortress, so all those dwarves will be happier with a place to pray and worship. While working on digging out the temple, winter arrives on the calendar. Time flies here in Merchant Slipped. Just one more season and we will have been here for a year. One of the things we still need to fix is our animal situation. All of our animals are running around in the tavern and the dining room at the moment. This is probably not up to the rigorous health and safety codes that our fortress employs, so we'll dig out an animal pen and assign our animals to it. Something I forgot was that last season when Tobal, the liaison from the mountain homes, came to trade, he told us about some news and rumors. Let's check that out. Here we can view our surrounding world. Everything is white because it's winter and everything is snowy. It seems that something happened here to our northwest. Ah, yes, there was an old abandoned fortress here, which a group from the Creative Torch claimed. So another group left Adenable, just like us, to live here. That vampire problem must be really getting out of hand back home. There have been some kidnappings in the neighborhood of the new fortress though, so, well, I wish them luck. For the good of the Creative Torch. Let's take a look at our barracks. They are completed and are being used by our military. Well, I say military, but it's just Morrel and Orvat right now. And they can be seen here doing individual combat drills. Hopefully they'll learn something and they'll be ready if any trouble ever comes our way. We know of some goblin settlements nearby, so that might be trouble in the future. But for now everything looks good, so it's more of a safety precaution than actual necessity. The tavern is also starting to come together nicely. We'll have to fix the colors of the furniture in the future. We can't have all these different colors everywhere, but we'll do that once we have enough rhyolite furniture. I've also put some small stockpiles in here and in the dining room to store drinks and food. And on the other wall is a chest with mugs in it. Now all we need is someone to serve the alcohol. Let's take a look if we can find a suitable dwarf. Looking at the dwarfs, Ral Sibrekberdan is the only peasant right now. So he doesn't really have a job yet. He'll do fine as a tavern keeper. Here we can see him coming in for his first day at the job. He'll pick up the booze from the stockpile, grab a mug and serve it to the dwarves and the visitors to the fortress. One of the things that happens when you have a tavern like this is that other humans, dwarves or elves will occasionally visit the place to hang out, gossip and drink. You can see a couple of humans hanging around in the tavern already. Oh, what the hell? One of the visiting humans can't seem to hold her alcohol and is vomiting all over the place. You can see the trail of vomit leading up to the lady over here in blue. Gross. Well, I guess our new tavern keeper has some cleaning work to do now. Who is this puking human anyway? Ah, she's a visitor to our tavern who was curious about the fortress. And the tavern in particular. And she's feeling nauseous. Well, yeah, that's a given. I bet tales of our drunken visit will attract visitors from all over. Yeah, it's probably a drink brewed by Sazir, and she does not kid around when it comes to alcohol. Let's leave Ral to his cleaning duties for now and take a look at our temple. We can see it's basically done. It has a little table where the dwarves can light some candles and a statue behind it. Let's designate the temple. We'll make sure to make it a temple to worship Zephon. The dwarves have called it the Future Temple. Now, if we take a look at Zephon, we can see that he is the god of fertility. I wonder if Mafal has some ambitions we don't quite know about yet. Let's take a look at the statue Mafal ordered to be put into place inside the temple. It's a statue of Sazir, and she's holding up a shield. I wonder why Mafal put a statue of Sazir in the temple he ordered to be dedicated to the god of fertility. Well, maybe I just don't want to know. Anyway, the temple is ready to be used. All we need to do is smooth the surfaces. Now there are plenty of more gods the dwarves can worship, so we'll designate some more temples to be dug out. Another thing we'll make sure to build is an entry building. We need to enclose our entrance and make sure that we can seal the place up if we ever need to. So we'll make sure to build a little building around our stairwell down. And we'll close it off with a drawbridge. Once it's built, we'll build a lever which will raise the drawbridge in the event of trouble. For now this will do, but we'll expand on it in the future. As we're taking a look at our dwarves smoothing the bedroom area, spring has arrived. That means that it's been a year since we moved out from Adenable and settled here. And look at what we've done in a year's time. Where will we be next year? Hopefully we've got some more dwarves by then, and we can start working on our metal industry. I really want to tap into that volcano and start using all the lovely magma for smelting the finest metals. Also, we will start digging deeper. We need to find the metals first and see what the depths below have in store for us. Hopefully we'll find adamantine and other valuable metals. I have to say, Mafal was wary about starting a fortress here at first, but seeing what we've accomplished in just a year's time, this place has huge potential. It'll be a fortress for the ages. Meanwhile, we've been looking at our entry building being built. It's coming along nicely. All we need now is a roof over the building, and then we have made sure that no one can come in if we close the drawbridge. And that gives Mafal a nice and safe feeling. Since our tavern is drawing in visitors, I'm thinking we should expand it a little bit. We can put a couple of bedrooms in for our visitors, and we'll expand the dancing floor a bit, so there's plenty of room. As our dwarves are working, suddenly Morrel, the mason, comes running to Sazir. Sazir! Sazir! There's a caravan approaching. A caravan? Now? I thought our brothers from Edenible would arrive in the autumn. That's quite a surprise. Catching his breath, Mafal replies, No, they aren't our brethren. They're elves. Elves? Here? They're coming? To us? And, sure enough, there's a caravan of elves approaching our trade depot. Sazir goes to the merchants and asks what they are doing here. The elven merchant replies, Well, we've heard about your fortress here, and we figured it's just a day's travel, so we'll take a look if we can trade some of nature's beautiful gifts with you. It's a bit disheartening to see that you've chopped down some trees around here. You must stop that at once. These trees are nature's gift to us, the races of Ushul-Miral, and you must not take a gift like that for granted. Sazir rolls her eyes. Yeah, whatever. I know you guys are all a bunch of tree huggers, so spare me this sermon. Alright, I'll be right back. Sazir ordered to have some mugs delivered to the trade depot. We got quite a few of those, and we can trade some. The dwarves of Merchant Slip hurry to bring the mugs to the trade depot, and Sazir starts negotiating. We'll take some almonds, some walnuts, splints and crutches, just in case. Yeah, that's about it. The elves don't seem overly enthusiastic about the trade, but they accept it anyway. Maybe we'll be back next year. Make sure not to cut any more trees down. Sure, you guys are welcome anytime. No promises about the trees, though. When the business with the elves is concluded, we can get back to work in the fortress. Our dwarves have dug out a second temple and put furniture in as well. This one will be for worshipping the Diamond Shadows. It's a god dedicated to earth, caverns, mountains, and volcanoes. It most often takes the form of a yak bull. It's a nice and strong figure to guide us to wisdom on our upcoming projects to tap into the inferior ash volcano. As our dwarves are digging out a third temple, word reaches Mafal that a new wave of migrants is incoming. Ah, splendid. We can use some more haulers, and the smoothing of the walls can use some extra hands as well. We're only making slow progress. 5, or maybe if we're lucky even 10 more hands will be welcome. Let's have a look at how many migrants are coming. Here they come. Welcome to Merchant Slip. Make yourself comfortable. Let's see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ooh, nice. It's a lot. That's 12, or 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, that's it, I think. Yeah. 19, 20, 21, 22. Oh god, that's 22 migrants. That's a lot more hands than we expected at this point. We don't even have enough beds in the fortress for everyone to sleep in. We'll need to get to work on making more bedrooms for everybody to sleep in soon. Well, no matter. We'll just put everyone to work at once. We'll put most of the new recruits on hauling and on smoothing duty. And they haven't been inside for more than an hour before the first of the visitors begin screaming about rock and looking kind of, well, off. With her eyes wide open and almost frothing at the mouth, she runs into the workshop area and kicks out Logum from the mason's workshop. Here you can see her picking up some rhyolite rocks. Let's see what she's getting up to. But just to make sure, let Morrel and Urvat, the guards, know about the situation. You never know what she'll be up to. She seems to be making something, brabbling about the wind and rhyolite. She's working feverishly in the workshop to make, well, something. And she's done. She's made a rhyolite millstone. It's something. It's a very well-made millstone, to be fair, and it's our fortress's first artifact. Let's take a closer look. It's a rhyolite millstone. All craft dwarfship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with oval rhyolite cabochons, and it menaces with spikes of rhyolite. Well, okay, if we ever need to make a mill, we got a nice millstone. It's worth 3600 value, so that's more than anything else we have in the fortress. Oh well, it's not the greatest artifact, but it's something. In the meantime, our third temple is almost done, so let's make that our place of worship for Alot. Alot often takes the form of a female dwarf, and is often associated with consolation. The dwarves have chosen to call the temple the Decent Sanctuary. Well, that doesn't really sound very glamorous, but it's a nice and quiet place to reflect. And that's nice for Alot. She is the god of consolation, after all. Now, since our new immigrants have joined our fortress, Mafal has ordered more bedrooms to be dug out. We're up to 36 dwarves now, so we need much more rooms to fit everyone. We'll set up all the new bedrooms, and this way we'll be up to 39 bedrooms. After this bunch is complete, we'll order more to be dug out. I have a feeling more migrants might be coming soon when they hear about the great things going on here in Merchant's Lift. As you can see here on the workshop level, with the new migrants we're making quick work of the smoothing tasks that still needed to be done. Almost the entire floor is smoothed. We can also see some dwarves singing songs together in the tavern. The Bulbous Berries is really becoming a very nice tavern, and it will attract visitors from all over Urshel Neral. Not all visitors will be well-meaning though, so let's get our security precaution in place. We'll have our mechanic link up our lever to the bridge in the entry building. Let's test it out. We'll give one of our dwarves the order to pull the lever. Let's see what happens. There we go. Mafal pulls the lever. And the bridge retracts, just as planned. Now it's effectively a wall that's walling off our fortress. Next we'll have Mafal pull the lever again to lower the bridge. And there we go. Test successful. 0 casualties. Very nice. Let's take a moment to look at the overall state of the fortress. Our outside floor looks like this. Our entry building is completed, including the roof. We've just tested the bridge as well, so that's ready to go. Furthermore, there are some grazing animals out here, and the refuse pile is here. Right now it's mainly filled with vermin remains. One level down we find our barracks. Currently no one is training here, so there's not much to see. We have some extra rooms dug out here, but right now they're not being used. Taking the stairs down one more level we find the stone stockpiles. They aren't filled to the brim with stones, which is a slight concern. I've even removed the second stockpile since the dwarves were still filling that one up before the main one. Well, the main one is the closest. So we'll start mining soon to fill it up a bit more. The next level is the main stockpile and farm level. Here we see Stukas, who is still working on keeping our stocks filled with brewable and edible plants. We can also see that our main stockpile is starting to fill up, so we'll have to expand this a bit soon. Finally, next to the farming area we have an area where all our animals can hang out. We still need to get a chicken coop up, so that's something we need to keep in mind. Yet another level down we come to our main fortress level. Here we have our beautiful tavern The Bulbous Berries to the left, with our workshops situated next to that. There's a lot of busyness going on this level, which is awesome to see. Our dwarves are hard at work crafting furniture and cooking and brewing food and drinks. Then, if you want to get away from the busyness of the tavern and workshops, you can come to the dining room or the temples. The dining room still needs some work to get all the statues matching colors. And I've seen times when the dining room was filled. Having only 6 eating spots for the 36 dwarves is just not enough. The temples though are all about done. We have 3 temples. One's dedicated to Sephon, one to the Diamond Shadows, and one temple to Alot. Most religious dwarves worship one of these gods, so most dwarves should be happy that they're able to satisfy their need for religion. On the lowest level we find our bedrooms. We're hard at work in getting all the bedrooms filled with a bed. Smoothing on the new bedrooms is just getting started, but we'll finish that pretty quickly with our new and improved workforce. To the right we can see the offices of Sazir and Mafal. With everything smooth, they are both pretty content with their holdings, so that's good as well. I think this is a great place to end this episode. It's been quite a productive episode. We're up to 36 dwarves in total now, and besides our current lack of bedrooms, our fort is really starting to come together. Next episode we'll start mining to see if we can find some metals. If we find plenty of those, we'll start tapping into the volcano to get magma smelter up and going, and we'll be able to make some armor and weapons. I want to thank you for watching the episode, and if you want to help me out you can leave a like or a comment. I also want to thank Tarn and Zach Adams for making this game, Simon Swerver for the background music I use, and Kruggsmash for the inspiration to make these videos. I hope to see you all next episode. Bye bye.